Hey, this is Janice Franklin, aka the Child Support Concierge, and I just wanted to take a moment and talk to you about my theory on why the family is the target for control. Depending on who's listening to this, you may agree or disagree that there is a war going on, that there is systematic oppression as well as racism going on, and there are people that are under attack. People of color, black people, we are definitely under attack. I believe we are the most oppressed people in the world. But one of the things I wanted to focus on or discuss right now is about why the family would be the target. So based on what I've learned, basically the purpose of a family is to continue society. A family serves four purposes: regulation of sexual activity, so make sure you're not getting into incest, making sure you're, becoming sexually active at an appropriate age, and instilling the societal norms when it comes to sex. Next, another purpose of a family is socialization. So, basically your parents teach you how manners and how to speak, talk, walk, how to basically integrate into society, as well as how you're supposed to act once you get out into the world and interacting with people outside of your immediate family, outside your household. The other purpose is reproduction. So of course, two adults come together, they procreate, they make a baby, and hence you have a family. And then that's supposed to continue generations, hence reproduction. And then the other purpose is economic and emotional activity. So on the economic side, basically the family is supposed to have a stable income and resources in order for everybody to survive and live at a standard of living that is appropriate based on society's terms, and to be able to exist that way for the foreseeable future. And then the emotional, of course, is that your parents and your family are where you learn how to love, how to deal with your emotions or how not to. A lot of us that struggle with emotional issues today are most likely because they experience some type of trauma or lack of this emotional security and emotional stability as a child, and therefore they have become adults who are traumatized, and they're kind of living that out, trying to figure out how to deal with that. So if you think about it, the family is the primary target if you want to control the influence of younger generations as they're born, to make sure that they are being raised compliant to what society wants. And so it is just the prime target to infiltrate, program, and then, control like a puppet master. And many of us are living this way because we don't know any other way. Also could be because of fear. We don't want to step out of our comfort zone and explore something different because those in our family who still are programmed will judge, and then of course you become ostracized and that type of thing. So I believe that's why the family is the target. And then of course, once you kind of infiltrate the family, then you of course divide, and then of course you can manipulate, each person or part of the family unit as you want. From what I've experienced as a black person and living in the United States, when it comes to black families, usually once the system has infiltrated it, the father is somehow pushed out of the home, which makes them susceptible to legal action and invasion of their privacy and possible incarceration, which is, double bonus for the system, because then they're making money hand over fist again. But then also with the other parent, the person who may have the child, they paint this picture of, we'll take care of you, you don't have what you need because the other parent's gone. Come to us, apply for this aid. We will give you free money, food, health care, all that. But they don't tell you the price that comes with that. So yeah, once you're in there, they don't want you to ever to get out, because once you get out, that means you're self-sufficient. That means that they don't necessarily have that hold and control over you. Then of course, once you're in welfare, they get to monitor how you live, control the amount of money that you can have coming into your household. So they don't want you doing any side hustles, working, being an entrepreneur, making your own money, because they want to make sure that you live at such a low economic level that you have to depend on them throughout the minority of your child. And then of course, if you get to a point where you don't want those services, then you may have to, be aware. You may have a sudden call from Child Protective Services, or you may get a surprise visit from somebody wanting to check out your home. Those are the types of things that the parent with the child has to deal with when the system gets involved and they end up in welfare or something like that. Not to mention the fact that while all of this is going on and the system is, using their tentacles and their programs and all that to control the adults in the situation, there's also, the stigma that goes with child support and welfare. So both of the adults are dealing with that, as well as maybe battling each other, because they most likely have some trauma from their breakup that they haven't dealt with, and they're still bumping heads. All of this is happening in front of the child. All of this is going to end up being imitated by the child in their future relationships, because this is what they're seeing. This is what they think is normal. This is what society is telling them. Hey, this is what happens, but you'll be okay because we're there to clean up the pieces. Obviously, that doesn't always happen. There are some cases where child support comes in, or it doesn't have a harmful effect. I haven't come across a case like that per se just yet, but I will say that if the parents can come to an agreement to focus on what's best for the child and keep their communication that way and keep that as their motivation when they're interacting with each other, then they don't need the system, they don't need welfare. You would be able to work with this person that you procreated with and be able to build some kind of stability for your child, as well as both of you. Like, just because you're not fucking doesn't mean that you both can't have stable homes and support your child together. So, like I said, this is a theory, this is my opinion, but this is based off of my years of experience as a child support enforcement specialist, as well as my own life experience. So, take it how you will. But yeah, appreciate you for watching. So as always, support your children, save your wallet.